and welcome back for another Tool Time Tuesday. I'm Melissa Muir. In this video, I want to show you how to alter your anvil points for the hammer hand piece to use on your flex shaft. When I buy a kit of the anvil points, now you can buy them individually or you can buy them as a set. This one happens to be a set of 6 anvil points, so it comes with a little case, which is kind of nice, and then you have all of the different anvil points here. Now they all have a black oxide on them that keeps them from rusting and just kind of keeps them nice while you're waiting to use them, but they're not necessarily ideal for doing all of your work. And that's what we want to adjust today. So as you can see, there are different points that are available with our hammer hand piece or with the anvils. And you'll notice again, like I said, they all have this black oxide on them, and they also have basically kind of a rough shape to them. So what I want to show you how to do is to alter these from like this rough shape into something that's polished and can be used to set your stones, whether you're doing bezel setting, you're doing flush setting, any of that. My personal set has not had all of my anvil points altered yet, and that's just because I don't use some of these. So they're just kind of waiting, but there are others that I have altered quite a bit, whether I've shaped them, ground them down, or polished them, or whatever the case might be. And that's what I would like to show you in this video. So the first one we're going to do is kind of this paddle with a rounded top. This is the one that I use more often for doing my bezel setting, and that's what we're going to alter here. Now this can be done with files and sandpaper, depends on what you want to use. However, I have a jewel tool which is going to allow me to do this very, very quickly. I'm going to start with a 220 grit ceramic. Now I also have a vacuum set up on mine, and the other thing too that you want to make certain you do is safety first. Now, of course, before you ever get going on anything, safety first. Make sure you've got your goggles. You have some kind of a respirator if you need. I also have a vacuum that will be used with my jewel tool. So let's see how this works now. All right, so you'll hear that vacuum going, and hopefully it's not too noisy for us. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to kind of curve and alter this a little bit. And you should be able to see this going. The first thing I want to do is I want to round off any of these sharp corners that are currently on my piece. Sharp corners leave different marks and marrings on your metal, and we don't want any of that. I'm just going to round these edges, and at this point I have smoothed off the top. I'm going to round that out just a bit, and I'm just rocking this back and forth. And I want to blend in any of the facets that I put into this. Okay. Now I'm very, very happy with the point that I have on this. Well, not even a point, but it's nice and round, it's smooth, it's nice and curved. Next thing I'm going to do is put a high polish on this. So this was a 220 grit ceramic, which is kind of like a sandpaper. And now I'm going to use the compressed Scotch-Brite to just smooth down any scratches that might have been left on there with that 220 grit. Now at this point, everything is blended beautifully, and all that's left is to put our high polish on this. So now I have the felt buff, and I'm going to use a little bit of the polishing compound. And now we have our finished piece. So this now has a nice smooth surface. You can see the polish that's on there. And this is what we want to have on our pieces, because whatever is on this surface-wise is going to transfer to any of our pieces that we use. Now again, like I said before, so I have one anvil point here that I want to show you. This started out as a square. And you can see the difference now. So I've ground it down, I've polished it up, because that's what suits my needs. So don't be afraid to completely alter and change these anvil points to do whatever you need to do. One of my favorite anvil points that I like also is the Pave Setting. And what I've done here, and it looks like it needs another buffing, but I've just polished the end of it. I didn't really alter the end of this at all. So I just gave it a nice little polish. And again, that's so that when I'm using it, that bright surface or that polished surface will then transfer to whatever metals I'm using it on. So don't be afraid to alter these. A lot of people are a little bit nervous when it comes to buying these tools, buying hammers or whatever else. Sometimes when you buy these tools and they have kind of a rough cut, it's just kind of a given that you are going to be altering these. And most metalsmiths who have done like a lot of apprenticeships or whatever else, they get that, they understand that. But those of us who started out maybe as a hobby and didn't have like the apprenticeships or a lot of the training from some of the professionals, we don't realize that these tools are meant to be altered. So jump in, make your tools what they need to be, and figure out how they work best for you. And don't be afraid to try that out. Now, like I said, I did this with a jewel tool. However, you can totally do the exact same thing with a set of files and sandpapers, and even like your buffing machine or a flex shaft to polish everything back up. So hopefully that helps a little bit when it comes to some of these. I have a couple more videos that are coming out very, very soon using the hammer handpiece to set different types of stones, and hopefully those will be out pretty quick. Anyway, as always, if you ever have any questions, just let me know. Now, where can you buy the anvil points and the hammer handpiece? I have been getting mine from Micro Tools. They've been a great sponsor and support to me here for Tool Time Tuesday. So I will include the link to that down in the description of the video. If you like the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel for every Tool Time Tuesday update. I hope you guys have a really great week, and we'll see you next time.